Hey, everybody. I don't do two blogs in a day. I think I've done that once when I had part one. I don't usually do two blogs in a day. But I just decided to do this because something happened and I wanted to make a comment about it. Now, I have this blog that I have, and the reason I have this blog and the reason it's so small and stuff like that, because it is very small. It has a small sort of, there are not a lot of people that come to it each day and stuff. The most I've had maybe 1,000, but the most I've had is maybe 1,000 and stuff, and that was the best day. But usually I get about 100 to 200 people on here a day and stuff. So it's not a lot of people that come on here, which is fine with me. One of the reasons I made this blog, and I don't write or I don't want it to be too big and stuff, because the thing about it being big means that I would have to take in a lot of information and a lot of comment and stuff. And my thought has always been is this is a blog about black women, and so I don't want my readers to be abused. I'm definitely not taking no abuse from just sort of random people out in interspace and and the interwebs and stuff like that. I'm not taking any random abuse from people and stuff. So I talk on here because this is my space. Now, if nobody came on here and if nobody ever watched any blog I ever made or ever did anything, that would be fine too. I'd be okay. This is a way for me sort of memorialize some things about myself and then go back and look at them and stuff and see how I've changed and different stuff and see my 20 million different hairstyles I've had and all that sort of stuff. So, but my thought is, if you're going to write on a blog, and that's the reason I don't write on other people's blogs, the reason I don't blog on other people's blogs, I don't write on other people's blogs and stuff is because I'm not trying to fight and go back and forth with people and stuff and sit around and be offended by what people say or when people misconstrue my words or say something wrong or say something I don't agree with about what I write. I'm not doing that and stuff. I'm not going back. I can say what I need to say here. I can have my opinion here and stuff. And we're not going to have, this is a dictatorship. We're not going to have no back and forth debate and no going on and on all day long about what's going to happen, and stuff. You got something smart to say that'll maybe change my opinion. Maybe so. You got something dumb to say and you think you're going to change my opinion. That's not going to happen. But today I made a comment on somebody's blog about something they said about introverts, and they were saying that if you had, if somebody was an introvert, they should get a loudmouth friend and stuff. And I just thought it was bad advice. I just thought it was a bad idea. What the hell do I need with a loudmouth person, and stuff? And I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert for a reason, and stuff. All that, for most introverts, all that stuff is overly stimulating. It doesn't help, and stuff. And so I put another difference of opinion is that I thought, well, the loudmouth thing doesn't really help, and stuff. And maybe the person needed to find out a little bit more about being an introvert because most of the time for introverts is they think they're shy, but really a lot of times we're not shy, and stuff. We just think we're shy because everybody's been telling you you're shy, and you think you're shy, and until you kind of get to know yourself and know who you are, you may be confused about what it means to be an introvert and how you can work within the parameters to kind of do what you need to do to bring the best out when it comes to being an introvert. So I said this, and the person asked me, well, what did I think wasn't so helpful? It was a bad idea. I thought it was a bad idea. I said it was a bad idea and stuff, and, they seemed so offended. Now, it was the writer of this article and stuff, and it was the writer of this article, and my thought is that, if you write on, and it's from a big blog, a pretty big blog and stuff, and my thought is, if you're going to write on big blogs, you need to be kind of ready for people not to agree with you and to sometimes challenge some of the stuff that you say, and stuff. And you can't always be offended and, and stuff and, fall down on the floor and kicking and screaming or whatever, and stuff. I didn't say anything bad about the person. I didn't say anything bad about the rest of the advice. The rest of the stuff that the person said I thought was probably good advice. I just thought that maybe the loudmouth part wasn't good. I've never in my life had a loudmouth person help me in a social situation and stuff. And although I do have a best friend who's very extroverted and stuff, she's not loudmouth and she doesn't make anything different about me because she's who she is and stuff. She lets me be who I am and I let her be who she is and everything. So, and I thought it was just crappy advice. And I'll say it again, it was crappy advice and stuff. And so the person got offended, and they got offended by another writer that said the same thing, who was also an introvert, and they said the same thing. And I'm thinking, okay, really, is this what the writers are going to do? And I've noticed this sort of on this blog is this is what some of the writers do. Not all of them, but some of them do. Lord forbid you don't agree with what they say, and then the next thing you know, they're coming with a whole nother blog to explain to you why you should agree or why, and stuff. And it's like, really, you should have wrote that in the blog, and stuff. But this whole other blog in a comment about why you should agree. Listen, nobody at the Wall Street Journal, or the Washington Post, or the New York Times, or Huffington Post, or the Root, or whatever, goes back and forth with commenters all day. Okay, if you're on a big blog and you want to be seen, you can't be seen as sort of this whiny baby that if somebody disagrees with you, you fall down on the floor and then, and stuff, and you just can't stand for somebody to even make a suggestion that what you say is not, is not gospel and stuff. If you're going to do that, do like me, get your own blog. I mean, for real. Just have your own space. You can say whatever you want to say. You can say it all the time. You can say it all day long. And you don't have to go back and forth and argue with people all day. Now, I just sort of cut the conversation off because, just to tell you the truth, I'm still in the middle of trying to sort of, grieve a situation that's happened with me and all stuff. I ain't got time to argue with people that, got personal problems and stuff, or just sitting around waiting to be offended, or God forbid somebody not, think whatever they say is just the cat's meow and stuff, and you have to agree with whatever they say because they just think they're the expert on this subject, which they're not, and stuff. They're just another person and stuff with another opinion and everything. Now, seeing that, I've actually read up on some stuff about introverts and all this stuff. I just thought it was a bad idea. And I thought it was just probably a good idea for this person to maybe get some information about being an introvert, and stuff, because she didn't really sound exactly socially awkward, at least not to me. She just sounded like she was an introvert. Now, if you're socially awkward, that's something else. If you're socially awkward, that's another thing and stuff. And many introverts are socially awkward and stuff, but not all introverts are shy and stuff. And not all of them need some loudmouth standing next to them, embarrassing them or making them feel even weirder, so they would draw back into themselves, to be socially out. It may work, but it may not work. And so I just gave another suggestion. What just sort of boggled my mind was why somebody would come in and literally write another blog about why their suggestion was right and why they were right about what they said and stuff, and why. And I mean, in each of the posts, my post and this person's post, there was like one line that said, "We don't think this is a good idea." And they came back and wrote, and I was writing about something totally different. This other person was writing about something totally different about being an introvert and stuff. And this one line, and I'm just like, what the heck is going on with the writers on this blog? I haven't been back there for a long time. And every time I go back there, I think, why did I go back here and read this and make a comment again? I need to just give it up and stuff, because it's not what it used to be. But I keep noticing this and stuff, and I'm just reading, and some of the time I just don't say anything, but I'm just reading people's articles, and I noticed this trend of the writers all getting their little hairs up on their back as soon as somebody says something different or says something that doesn't agree with what they agree, and then the moderators come in and jump on that poor person. It's a hot mess, okay? And it's just sort of weird. It's just sort of odd to me, and stuff. You have to know that if you put your writing out really on a big public blog with a lot of other writers, in all likelihood, there will be a lot of people who won't agree with what you have to say, and stuff. And and I mean, a lot of the times people not agreeing, they're not being mean, they're not being nothing, they're just not agreeing. And it's just gotten sort of crazy, and stuff. And I'm just saying this because I just want to say it. And once again, this is my blog, and I come to my space so I can say what I need to say and all this stuff, and I can do exactly what it is that I need to do on here, because here we don't have no public back and forth and all this sort of stuff. We don't do that here, and stuff. And like I say, that's the reason I don't write for other people and stuff, because I don't want to go back and forth with folks and round and up and down the rabbit hole and all that sort of stuff. So I say what I need to say, but it was just sort of an odd conversation, and it was sort of a odd thing to to sort of come back and need to somehow defend your. It wasn't even the way they were suggesting that somehow me and this person were also offended, and I wasn't really offended by the comment. I just thought it was a bad idea. That's it. It wasn't that deep. It wasn't that serious and all this stuff. And they seemed to think we were somehow, me and the other person, the other writer that wrote the comment, was somehow offended by the comment. Yeah, it's not that deep, sweetie. Okay, it's just not. And stuff. But it is, it is something enough that I wanted to make a comment about and stuff, and make a comment to all you writers who are writing on these big blogs and stuff, and expecting everybody to think whatever you say is just magical, and all this stuff, and to never disagree with you. It will happen. Okay, now if somebody's being vicious, that's one thing. If somebody's disagreeing with you and not just sort of move on with your life, you want to write, this will be one of the things that'll happen if you write, is that many people will disagree with what you say and they may not like it and stuff. But the sort of thing of people being allowed, the writers being allowed to do this, and it's just sort of crazy, and it's sort of making me crazy, and it's sort of making me not ever want to go back there ever again, and stuff. Just my personal opinion, and everything. I don't think anything is, well, I'm not going to get into that, but just sort of just not making me want to stop by there and read the articles or even be bothered. Now I don't come back and read it or look at it very often, but the few times that I do come back, I'm going to now just sort of not do that either. Because why am I arguing with somebody who was writing an article and thinks everything they write is magical rainbows and unicorns and stuff. It's not gonna, it's just enough. It's enough for me. I can't take it. I don't want to take it. I don't have time for it. I got other important stuff to do than argue with somebody because I thought that their suggestion was a bad idea, and I just gave it. I didn't even call it a bad idea. I'm just calling it a bad idea now and stuff. So if you really want to know, sweetie, why I did, like, it was a bad idea. But making an alternate suggestion somehow just kill them and everything. It's enough. I've kind of had enough. So it's time for me to move on, and as I say, keep it stepping. So good luck to that blog. Good luck to whoever the writers are on there. Hope you all can take your massive egos out of the way. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.